and welcome to Fort Montgomery State Historic Site, scene of a fierce Revolutionary War battle way back on October 6, 1777. Today we're going to be talking to you about the fife and drum in the Revolutionary War. The drum and fife were used by both the British and American armies as communication devices. In an age where there were no radios and certainly no cell phones, the fife and drum were the best way to send signals to troops not only in battle, but in fortifications and camps like Fort Montgomery. The fife is a flute-like, reedless wind instrument that produces a shrill, high-pitched sound when played. And the drum, of course, when beaten, produces a beat and a sound that could be heard far and wide. We're going to go through what were called the camp duties. These were sets of signals used to regulate the soldiers' day, not only in camps and forts like Fort Montgomery, but also on the actual battlefield.
So the reveille would have been the first camp duty that these soldiers at Fort Montgomery would have heard in the morning. It would have been played at sunrise. Imagine like getting up at 5:30 in the morning. It would have been really loud, waking them up, letting them know that it's time to get ready for the day's duties.
Okay, about an hour or two after reveille, the men had a chance to eat breakfast and clean up. The troop or assembly would be played, and this would be to assemble the troops on the parade or big field area where the troops could be inspected, and most importantly, the rolls could be taken to make sure that no soldiers had deserted or ran away. The men would also be warned of their duty for the day. So the trooper assembly. We're going to play the Scotch Greys March tune for the troop.
So after the trooper assembly, the roll call would have been taken. The soldiers then would have heard the fatigue march, the next camp duty. Essentially, we tend to imagine soldiers, most of their duties being fighting battles, but the reality is they would be divvied up into groups, and most of the time as a soldier, they would be out splitting wood, building fortifications, cooking, really doing the daily tasks that allow an army to survive.
All right, the fatigue, the most dreaded call of the day. After a day of long, hard work or drilling, the retreat would be beat. This was usually beat at sunset, and it would signal the end of the military day, and the soldiers finally had a chance to relax. The retreat, interestingly enough, was also a signal used on the battlefield to retreat or run away, and it's possible that the retreat was played here at Fort Montgomery on the day of the battle when the Patriots had to run away from the British after a fierce bayonet charge. Okay, so remember, the retreat, also a camp, not only a camp duty, but also a battlefield call.
After the retreat, the soldiers would have a little bit of time before they heard the last and final camp duty of the day, the tattoo. They would have told them to turn the taps to, essentially the taps off for their alcohol ration, and essentially would have told them lights out, everyone get to their tents and go to bed.
We're going to play Long March, or Chester, a very popular American tune, actually composed by what's considered America's first composer, William Billings. Originally as a hymnal, but then turned into a military tune. This tune also could have been used as a march. So Chester for Tattoo. Okay, finally we're going to play some popular marches for you. As you might imagine, the soldiers did a lot of marching. You have to remember, this is a day and age where there are no cars, buses, planes, not even trains. So the main way soldiers had to get around was by their good old-fashioned 2 feet. And it would not be uncommon for soldiers to have to march as much as 20 or 25 miles in a day. To keep morale high, to keep the men marching quickly, the fife and drum played an essential role, and often marches were played at 120 beats a minute, or 2 footsteps a second. And as you listen to the music, try to feel the drive in the music and imagine soldiers marching. We're going to play a popular tune called Welcome Here Again. This tune was played right on up through the American Civil War.